Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. I wanted to talk about VA's expansion of presumptive locations. This is really a huge deal, and it is in the Federal Register, and hoping for a quick update for this because it will open up the door for more presumptive claims to come into the VA, making it easier for veterans to get their service connected disabilities. Remember that a condition that is listed as a presumptive eliminates the need for a nexus, meaning that you do not need to prove to the VA that your condition manifested during your time in service or as a result of your time in service. The VA concedes and presumes that if you have that condition and served in this location in this time period, that they're just going to give it to you. You don't need to provide any nexus proof. So with that, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. I wanted to dive back into this as a gentle reminder because we need to keep our eyes open on this change. If you want to support the channel in other ways, consider being a member. You can do that by going to the homepage. You'll see the highlighted members there and a join button. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Truly, I do. All right. So the headline is VA moves to expand Agent Orange veterans benefits using authorities from the PACT Act. VA proposes rule to extend presumed areas of exposure to Agent Orange and make it easier for toxic exposed veterans to receive earned benefits and health care. Why is this important? Okay, I'm going to tell you why. Because again, it's going to expand the locations and some time frames to include a bunch of locations throughout the United States where Agent Orange was tested, used, and stored. I have heard, I can't even count how many times, veterans telling me, hey, I was around Agent Orange. How come I don't get these presumptives? We used it here, there, wherever. This is going to rectify a lot of that. So let's jump back into it. Following years long efforts by the Senate Veterans Affairs Committee, Chairman John Tester, to expand toxic exposed veterans' access to earned health care and benefits, the Department of Veterans Affairs, VA, today, which was back in February, moved to expand the locations and time frames for which VA presumes a veteran's exposure to Agent Orange and other herbicides. This change will make it easier for veterans exposed to Agent Orange during their military service to receive their earned VA benefits and health care. VA's move to expand toxic exposed benefits for veterans follows Tester Sergeant First Class Heath Robinson honoring our promise to address comprehensive toxics, the PACT Act, which expands the list of locations where VA must recognize veterans were exposed to the toxic herbicide Agent Orange. The PACT Act also provides VA resources and authorities it is now using to further expand that list. Prior to the PACT Act, eligibility for presumption of exposure was limited to Vietnam and limited areas in Thailand and Korea, and I'll throw in through blue water the 12 nautical miles from the shore. A quotation here: every veteran exposed to toxins during their military service deserves access to the health care and benefits they earned and were promised, Tester said. We fought like hell alongside veterans to get the PACT Act passed to ensure this for generations of toxic exposed veterans. And I am glad to see VA is now using this law to add new presumptive benefits for veterans exposed to Agent Orange outside of Vietnam. I'll keep looking to VA to implement this law the way Congress intended it and the way our veterans deserve. VA's new proposal would give expanded presumptive benefits to veterans who served in locations where Agent Orange was tested, used, or stored outside of Vietnam, including locations in Canada, India, and military locations in 12 United States. 12 of them. A full list of the specific states and times are available on the, if you Google search, basically, VA moves to expand Agent Orange veterans benefits on the Senate Committee on Veterans Affairs website. There'll be an article with a hyperlink. I will also try to put that in the description below. Tester championed the PACT Act and shepherded its passage through Congress in 2022. As chairman, he fought tirelessly. This is basically a little pat on the back for himself, but let's see if we could pick out any nuggets through the end of this. Service organizations in Montana and across the nation to deliver generations of toxic exposed veterans and survivors their earned care and benefits under the PACT Act. Named after Sergeant First Class Heath Robinson, who died in 2020 from toxic exposure as a result of his military service, this law provides health care for post 9/11 combat veterans, creates the framework for the establishment of future presumptives of service connection related to toxic exposure, expands the Department of Veterans Affairs list of health conditions presumed to be caused by toxic exposures, which opens the door to additional benefits for veterans and improves resources to support claims processing. Now, look, I'm going to stop here. It goes on and talks about some other acts, right, which were great, like the Blue Water Vietnam Veterans Act, outstanding. The Fair Care for Vietnam Veterans Act, great. So those are all great. But what I want to dive into right now is why is it so important to add these additional presumptives? Couple different reasons. I'm going to throw it out there. Hypertension, high blood pressure is a huge win for Agent Orange exposed veterans, right? So Vietnam vets got that new presumptive. If this goes through, like they're saying it will, then what will happen will be, if you served in any of these 12 states and the locations within the 12 states, within the time frames of those 12 locations, blah, 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 or in Canada or India, and are deemed Agent Orange exposed, and you have hypertension, boom, you're rated. It does not matter what your rating is. Let's say that it's a 0 or a 10%. If you were to pass away from, let's say, a heart attack, or let's say the veteran already passed away from a heart attack, then what happens is the surviving spouse is able to make sure that on the death certificate, it'll have 2 spots that are really important. One is the cause of death, heart attack. 2 is a section for contributing cause of death. Now, that may be blank. If it's blank, you need to get that amended and have them add hypertension, high blood pressure, as a contributing cause to the heart attack. What that does is that will now set the surviving spouse up to win the dependency and indemnity compensation claim. So the dependency and indemnity compensation needs to show, unless, now there's so much nuance in this world, unless the veteran was rated at 100% for 10 years or more, you need to show that the cause of death had something to do with a service-connected condition, either as the cause of death or contributing cause. So an Agent Orange exposed veteran qualifies for hypertension. If they have hypertension and they pass away of a heart attack, for example, then that would qualify for dependency indemnity compensation. DIC pays out a base at just shy of $1,700 a month, all the way up to over $3,000 a month, depending on different factors, right? How long you were married, do you have any children, are you housebound, and so forth, right? So there's a bunch of different things that will add into a bunch of different add-ons that will take you higher up in the pay chart for DIC. But this is a really important thing, not just for Agent Orange exposed veterans, but also for surviving spouses or spouses in the event that the veteran passes away at some point in life. This could open that doorway. So with that, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.